Hello dear gamers, I hope you're enjoying yourselves very much right now as you have nice rewards in global and all that kind of stuff. Today we're going to talk about a new clan event that is out here in JP, which is of course the third OTT one I want to say, because the first one was Tsuneto, second one was Kumi, now this is Kumi 2, and also of course we have a very cute Kumi skin to go with it as well, which you can see here, very nice G-Next Kumi, looks cute, looks great. Of course the skin is cute, as I've said many times, but the cards in this event are focused on Kamo Susanoo as well as Battle Sisters, which I really recommend picking up. Especially Battle Sisters, I think will be very good in the future. For the boost skins this time around, we have the G-Next Jaime, the G-Next the G-Next Luna, and the G-Next Tokoha. Yeah. Goodbye to the old skins. It's been unfortunate. I picked up the G-Next for that specific reason, because I was like, I like the skin in the first place, but I was also just like, I guess I have no choice. But anyway, let's take a look at the cards as usual and talk about it. I've been already going through the event a fair bit, and I'll try to show off the Kumi fight in action as well for you dear viewers, but let's talk about the cards first, because of course that is what you are here for. So I haven't actually read them myself yet, so I'm going into this blind, which is very nice. I also sold a bunch of cards I didn't need today and made 44k yen, which was pretty good. Alright, I think my computer is done lagging now, so let's get into this. We have the GR, which is Kamo Susanoo. His skill is on Oracle, GB2 gets plus 5k in a crit, and then GB2 once per turn. If your hand is 4 or less, you can get almost 2 to draw until you have 5 cards in hand, and then for that turn, all of your Oracle also works if you have 4 or less cards in hand too, so it basically makes the Oracle be a bit easier to achieve even with a low hand. So like you can basically, draw until you have 5 from like 0, let's say, and then call out your hand, or at least part of your hand, and then you can like call out your whole hand and you'll still be an Oracle, so you still get the crit in 5k, which is very nice. I think this is a one-of, to be honest. It's another nice GR because it's just a one-of, which is very good. So I think you pick up the discounted 15k one, which, you know what, I'll do it right now. I'll show you that it's a one-of. I'll pick it up for you to show you that this is how it's done. I don't really think you need more than this, maybe a second, but honestly I feel like one is fine. Like it's just a crit gainer and a card that draws you into your hand when you need it. But I feel like, this clan revolves around drawing cards, so I don't feel like you'll need it that often, and you have better strikes to go into. So then we have the Miroir. So she's a Battle Sister, Stride, a very good looking one at that. When you stride her, you flip a unit face up and then gain the following 2 abilities. First one is when your Battle Sister's attack hits, you can +1 to draw a card. And then in GB3, on Oracle, for each card in your hand, your front row Battle Sisters will gain +1k. So she basically lets you turbo into a bunch of draws, so you flip anything, you don't have to flip herself too, which is really cool. And that allows you to just like give your whole board the like on-hit draw skill, which of course does burn through a bit of CB, but you also get some extra power. So if you're running stand Battle Sisters, it's also really nice because you can like swing the rears into rears and then swing with Van, check stands, get some more draws, which is also good. And the attacks can hit anything, so they don't have to hit Vanguard for you to get the draw. So honestly, pretty good, pretty decent, pretty good for a triple rare as well. But then we have the new Susanoo, the new grade 3 Susanoo. This one says Oracle GB2. At the beginning of your right phase, you can look at the top card of your deck and put it on top or bottom. So it's a very Amaterasu-like ability, considering he is related to Amaterasu. It is very cool. And then at the beginning of the right phase, if you have a face-up Amaterasu or Wakahirume in the G zone, you may soul charge 1. Now, unfortunately, in the TCG there was a Amaterasu G-Guard that you could, have face up by just G-Guarding, which you can't do now. And there is also a GB8 Amaterasu, which also doesn't exist. So I'm assuming this will come out soonish, because it's not in this clan event, so yeah, we'll see. Well, Wakahirume was also in the last Fighters collection, which is no longer available, which is also pretty funny. So you can soul charge, and then when you stride, you can still +1 to draw a card. So it's a pretty good grade 3, I guess. It's pretty good grade 3. I think you can pick up 4. I think for Miroir, because it doesn't flip, you can pick up 3, honestly, like 2 or 3, I'd say. Then we have the Madolin, GB2 at the beginning of your turn. If you have 2 or more Battle Sister Regas, you can count +1 to draw 1. And then when you stride over her for that turn, your Vanguard gets the following ability. At the end of your Battle Sister's attack, if the attack did not hit, you countercharge 1. This gives it to everything. So this works with a stride where if you hit, you draw, if you don't hit, you countercharge. But of course, this is different than in TCG where it would be like a pressure kind of thing, where it's a guard pressure. Here it's more like, you know, you're gonna hit confirmed until your opponent's at 5 and they start guarding, and then you're gonna start countercharging. So it's nice, but it doesn't really do anything like in the, you know, early game in that sense. So I don't know if you want to ride her from the very get-go, but she's a good card you pick up for, I'd say. Then we have the Ame no Oshiho. So this has Revelation, GB1. When it attacks, count almost 1, and then look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and then find a card with the Revelation ability from among them and add it to your hand. And then if you did, this unit gains plus 3k. And then on rear, if your hand is 4 or less, you can put this unit to soul to draw 1. I don't know if I've talked about what Revelation is. When you have 5 or more cards in hand is when Revelation activates. So basically, his, you know, his rear skill lets you get into Revelation easier, and then of course the first skill is a way to keep replenishing your hand, and it's a pretty nice skill. I think there's a Revelation PG, so I think it's literally this one. So yes, there you go. It says in the drop zone, GB1 Revelation, at the end of your turn, count +1, add this card to hand, and then you randomly bind a card from hand. So you can randomly bind itself, which is, this has existed from the start, so it's always been like this. So be careful, you will randomly bind your PG sometimes. That's just the reality of it, but it is still a Revelation PG, so you know, you don't have to use the drop zone skill per se. You can just run it for the sake of finding it of the grade 2 in the Susanoo deck. Then we have the Ame no Sagume. Revelation, when she attacks the Vanguard, you can flip a GU zone face up, and then for that battle gain the following ability. When an attack hits, you draw 2 and discard 1, and then you countercharge 1 and soul charge 1. So pretty good, especially for a double rare stride. Like I think you can use her like a 1 or a 2 of in the G zone, probably like a 1 of, I guess, where you basically just like get her to enable you GB2, and then on top of that, you can also, like, I guess when we eventually get the Amaterasu, or I guess if you want to flip your Wakahirume, you can do that to like enable Susanoo's other skill. So pretty good, and this can go into virtually anything, so I think picking up 1 is actually a pretty good idea. For the PG, I'd say 4, and for the Ame no Sushio, I'd say, sorry, Ame no Oshio, my bad, I think you would get like 4 in that case if you're playing Susanoo. How many triples are there in this set? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's another one of the 5 ones. Then we have the Toyoku ni Nushi. This guy says GB1 when attacks the Vanguard gets plus 4k, and Revelation has Intercept. That's actually pretty good. Intercept grade 3 is actually better than I thought. That's a pretty good double rare. I'd say pick up 4. Then we have more Battle Sisters. We have the Berimus. She has Resist. Very important keyword in this game. She has Resist, and when your other Battle Sister is placed for that turn, this unit gets plus 2k. So it actually stacks, which is nice. But most importantly, she has Resist. Definitely a 4 of. Pretty good cards this time around, damn. GB1, when attack is a Vanguard, countercharge 2. Okay, so she's just a countercharger. She's not a Battle Sister or anything, so interesting card. You could, I don't know if you really need her that much. Theoretically, you can pick her up. Then we have the Snake. Snake says Revelation, when your G unit strides, you can change the cost to just retiring this guy from Rearguard Circle. And when this guy is placed on rear, if you have a Vanguard with the Revelation ability, you can soul boss 1 to draw 1. So basically, you make up the draw, and then you can ditch him for stride by retiring him later down the line, which is pretty good. I'd say pick up 4 as well. Then we have the starter. GB1 Revelation, put it to soul to countercharge 1, and then when you have a Vanguard with the Revelation ability and your hand is 4 or less, you can count +1 to put this to soul in and draw a card, and he has retire protection. So it's a decent starter. I guess Lozenge is still better because she's a heal, and the 5th heal is always going to be better, but she's pretty decent. Now let's take a look at the rares, and then we'll talk about the commons and stuff. So we have the Yasaka. She says Revelation, Vanguard Rearguard Circle. When her attack hits a Vanguard, soul boss 1, draw 1, then discard 1, and then if you discarded a card with a Revelation ability, countercharge 1, soul charge 1, and then when placed on Vanguard Circle, count +1, soul boss 1, look at top 5 for Revelation, add it to your hand. So it's, I don't really know if you want to run this, because it's like, yes, it cycles, but you basically, like, it cycles to countercharge. It's kind of what it does, but it's a grade 3, so I don't feel like you have that much space for it, so I'd probably pass on that. Then we have the Crepe. GB1 Revelation, on both players' turns, she has 11k power, and then when attack hits a Vanguard, if your Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater Battle Sister, count +1 to draw 1. Actually pretty good. 11k Intercept is kind of annoying, and also having the on-hit draw is also pretty good. Then we have the Pannacotta. I remember her being pretty good. When she attacks the Vanguard, you can discard a Battle Sister to gain 5k in the following ability. When an attack hits on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, count +1 to draw 2 and discard 1. pretty good just to like draw into your pieces early, I feel like, because it's of course CB, but you do aggressively like draw through everything. So you discard 2 to draw 2 in a way, but also gain some power. So just for cycle, it's a powerful cycle. Like 2 is actually pretty fast. Then we have the Sachi. She's Revelation on both players' turns. She's 10k base, and then GB1 during the opponent's turn, she gets another 5k power. So this card was actually run back in the day because she was like a quasi 10k vanilla, which of course is pretty valued in certain decks. We have the Rusk. She also has resist, so there's a grade 2 and a grade 1 with resist, which is pretty huge. And when she attacks on rearguard circle, if your Vanguard is a battle sister, so +1, and for that battle gain +3k. So I think you'll run her just with the resist, so I would definitely pick her up as well. And then we have a battle sister starter, count +1, put it to soul, and then look at top 3, find a battle sister and add it to your hand. So that can find the battle sister PG if you don't run the counter charges, but I think you do run the counter charges because of course you counterblast a lot in this deck. Then we have a couple commons. This guy's Revelation. At the end of the battle that he boosted in the attack hit of Vanguard, counterblast 1, and then look at top 5 and find a card with a Revelation ability and add it to your hand. And then if you did, you put this guy to soul. That's actually CB, so I'm not sure if it's that great because you lose the card from the field, but it's a common, so you're going to get it anyway. And then GB1 on boost, Soul Charge 1, and this is a Battle Sister, so if you need a lot of soul, you will run it, but I'm not too sure if it's necessary just yet. So then you have the 2 Susano sleeves, of course some packs for the new set, skip tickets and all that stuff, so the usual things, basically the usual things. And now of course, as per tradition, I will go into a fight real quick against Kumi and show you what the skin looks like, slash any ride animations if we have any, which I hope we do. Alright, there we go. There's the cutie herself. Oh god, this skin, they really did a good job with it, I gotta say. So let's take a look. We have, of course, Grand Blue to play with, and I can show off new Night Rose, I guess. If, you know, Kumi doesn't get completely destroyed by it before then, that would be great. So let's take a look and see how the fight goes. And of course, I need to also stream pretty soon, so I can't be taking too long. So let's go show off the new skins and all that stuff. I think the lines are also new. Okay, we're going first, which means that she can stride. She can stride and show off all kinds of stuff. So let's get into it. Putting back these, mulligan, and then of course you can also see the new Night Rose animation too for this new Night Rose, which of course does have a brand new animation. It's pretty good. I've already seen it a couple times myself. It is quite enjoyable. So we're gonna just do our usual thing, right up, put the freaking Grenache to the side and then pass, and then see where it goes. But let me know as well how you guys are enjoying Global now with the new additions and new bonuses. What have you spent your GR mats on, or what are you saving them for, in case you're saving for something that's out in JP right now? Would be curious to know. You know, it must be nice. It must be nice to have such great things. I'm definitely not jealous or anything. Alright, anyway, let's bashy bash here, I think. You can kind of just like do like this, and push some face damage bit by bit. See if our opponent hits the defensive. They do, which means I just pass here, or I can swing into a non-hitting attack and then pass, as we are no longer hitting, no longer clicking, and hopefully Kumi has an animation for whatever grade 3 she goes into. Although, I feel like she did fight at some point with the new Battle Sisters. I just know she never fought with, like, Ichikishima, unfortunately. Which is a little bit sad. Damn, remember when Triple Rares had animations? Crazy. Oh, counter charge 1. That's... seems kind of desperate, but okay. That's fine. Alright, I'm gonna swing, get the draw. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then it's gonna confirm 2 damage to my face, which is, you know, good for Kumi here. Good for Kumi here. I don't have that many intercepts to spare, if at all. So I hope to find one. Hey, the lazy definitely helps. Alright, here's my animation. Base Night Rose. Can never get enough of that animation. I've seen the picture of that shot plenty of times before, but I actually didn't know it was from GeneX. I didn't know it was like this specific Night Rose. So yeah, definitely looks a lot better than the original. I'm glad they didn't just like slap Am's short hair onto Night Rose again, because I feel like extending the blue hair for, you know, as long as Night Rose's hair is much nicer. I think it looks much cooler. Oh! She does have an animation! That's cute! Oh my god, oh, she doesn't stride? That's unfortunate. Cool! Good to know. That's, you know, it's actually good value then. I guess this was her, like, main grade 3 being used. I remember, like, not being too interested in Battle Sisters back then, so I didn't really pay attention, to be honest. But, hey, that's cool to know. Cool to see. Cool to, take that information into account. Here, I think we're gonna go into a Zonger. Go into a Zonger real quick, and then, try to do some combos, use the lazies in their drop zone to, call out a bunch of attackers and whatnot. Colombard there is actually pretty nice too. So we're gonna use Night Rose. We can put Serpent. Yeah, we can put Serpent in here, I suppose. Put the Serpent in, and then we're gonna call out the Lazy. Yeah, let's call out the Lazy over here, and then this will call out the Serpent, which will then refund the cost as a result, which is of course very cool. So CB1, call the Serpent out, and then we can call out the freaking, whoop, do this first. I do not need to hollow my stuff, please, thank you. I'm fine without that addition. Okay, I think with that, could honestly overcall the Serpent just so I can have, like, OTK potential here. So I think we'll do it like so, because then the Zonger will call something else out, and then we can do some cool little combos here and there, which is nice. So let's see where the power here is gonna go. Because Zonger, of course, gives extra power to the thing it calls out to. So we can kind of work with that in account. No defensive. Okay, then that means I can actually call out a Zonger. I think I'll ditch the heal here. The heal is not as valuable. So we're gonna mill out the other Serpent, and then we're gonna call out the... So the Zonger gets plus 2k, even if he isn't in hollow state, right? Yeah, it does not need to be in hollow state for the 2k. That's all that matters. Just want to give plus 5k to the Zonger itself, and then use the Zonger's effect to call out the just an attacker, really, just any attacker here, because this will basically just do this. So call like so, and this is 16. We can hollow this actually just so it gets more power. Don't need to hollow this. This will swing in for 16. Bada bing, bada boom. And then this will swing in for 28. And then we're gonna use this to call out Mr. Grenache. And then, you know, just kind of typical Grand Blue combos, I guess. Nothing too fancy. So yeah, we're gonna call out you and hollow you. And then you're gonna die. And then that's gonna be it. So, quick little counter-chargy, counter-chargy happening. Shui shui. CC2, and that's it. We don't really need more CB for next turn anyway. No stride still! Come on! I was hoping to show off something cool. So you can see the resist actually gains a bunch of power, which is pretty good. Pretty damn good. Alright, gonna swing. Swing again. Get the draw. No strides though, a little bit unfortunate. I was kind of hoping to see a stride animation, but alas. So be it. So be it. I guess we'll just finish it here in the next turn. And be on our merry way. Be on our merry way and just kind of go into another Zonger, I guess. Zonger does a lot of work. Zonger is a good little card. Ching! Alright. It's really crazy they made this thing a triple. It's actually crazy they didn't make it a GR. I was genuinely expecting them to make it a GR and they didn't, and I'm proud of them. Thank you, Game Studio, for listening to your community and doing the right thing. It is genuinely appreciated. It is very, very much appreciated. So we're going to call out the Serpent here. We need some soul as well while we're at it. And this will swing, swing, swing. So let's get that in. Cha-ching. No need to do that. And then here we can just do like so. And just swing a bunch. Use our Counterblast for good purposes. As we do. Oh, doesn't hit. Okay. Okay. Well, too bad. Because I will call out a Rook. And then swing to face a bunch of times. We can hollow it to... Actually, we don't even need to hollow it, to be honest. This can swing for 11. Sweet! Alright, that's all she wrote, unless Kumi heals. Her expression doesn't change much, even when she's, like, in trouble, I guess. So yes, there you go. That is it. That's Battle Sisters. That is the event, and that's the Kumi animation. So you got to see that, and also some early Night Rose preview. It's a fun deck. Alright, so that's gonna call it. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in and watching this overview of the new con event. As usual, I like to cover these just because I think people get a lot out of it knowing what's coming up. I'll be doing a deck and fight on Vanguard soon because I know you guys in Global just got that clan event, so I can show you how I've updated the deck, but it's also very flexible, so, you know, especially in grade 2s and 1s, you can kind of put in whatever you feel is good. So look forward to that. Otherwise, there's a lot of TCG content coming up soon because I actually got some pretty good results in some major tournaments recently that I'm looking forward to talking about. So look forward to those videos coming up very soon. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me today. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. But otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.